The Council, зрителей 38. Сейчас. Сейчас мы запустим The Council. Сейчас, секунду. Так, сделаем. Угу. $200 мегабайт освободили на компьютере. Игра теперь может... Ой. Компьютер теперь может немножечко пожить, подышать, как говорится. Вот. 4. Поэтому. Так, The Council. Играть. Да, принять, конечно же. Эта история, скорее всего, выдумана. Да ты что, я думаю, на реальных событиях эта история. Охуеть. Нет, ну. После такого хочется тебе ебалов набить. Пролог. Начать задание, где моя матушка. Начать задание собрания. Голосование. Ебать, что лагает. Тут. Новая игра. Я как-то получил ее бесплатно, ее раздавали в стиком. Вот, это где делают кишки наружу ниндзя. Ну, помните, да, этот стиком? Вот. Ее бесплатно раздавали в стиком. Вот, чтобы делать кишки наружу ниндзя. И покупать аппарат, чтобы вырывать 10 часов, 10 часов кишки. Включим свет, пуля в темноте, когда баран. Вот. Вот. И потом мне дали бесплатно. Я такой думаю, а чё бы не купить тогда... Ну, первую часть, первый эпизод дали бесплатно. Думаю, а чё бы не купить остальные эпизоды? В принципе, выглядит как-то прикольно. И может быть даже интересно. Давайте узнаем. Читайте письма гостей, чтобы узнать об их стремлениях. Кстати, что-то FPS умер в этой ебаной инди-параше.
Stop! You're not getting anywhere with this, Von Borchert.
You know, I kind of get the same feeling, my dear Sarah. Listen. Nothing. Not a sound. No one's coming to save you.
That's what you think. The Golden Order knows exactly where we are.
By the time your ridiculous secret society turns up, I'll be long gone. As for you, nothing will remain of your body.
If you touch a single hair on my mother's head, I'll skin you alive.
You know, Louis, I have no intention of beating your dear mother. There are more persuasive ways of making you talk. You've stolen something from me that I intend to get back. Where have you hidden it?
Von Borchert, you can't sell that book on the black market anymore. This is finished.
We know you're planning on selling at one of Lord Mortimer's parties. All right? Just tell us who the buyer is and we can make a deal.
You've no idea of the trouble you've gotten yourselves into. Oh, but you will tell me where it's hidden. I can promise you that.
Stop annoying our host, Louis. Son, didn't what happened to you in Rome teach you anything?
Just a few more minutes and my concoction will be ready. With this, your bodies will dissolve in less than 4 hours. You'll see. It loosens tongues in no time.
You know, I have to admit, Mother, the only thing you've ever taught me is that damn motto of yours. Always remain rational. And open. I got it. I've opened our shackles.
Draw him over here. I'll take care of him.
Von Burchard! Von Burchard! Listen. Let's make a deal. I'll tell you where the book is if you let my mother go free.
Oh, what are you playing at?
Don't worry, Mother.
You want to play the hero. Pity you're not in any position to do so. For the last time. Where is Al-Azif?
Let me do this. Trust me.
Ну, я хочу... Я в прошлый раз дарился матушке, хочу самому. Самостоятельный.
For God's sake, Louis, I told you to let me do it. Let me see.
You know, I was in control of the situation, Mother.
Oh, tell that to your nose. It's because of this kind of reaction that I prefer to work alone.
You ought to learn to trust me, Mother. Can't you be happy for once? We finally cracked the
Да, мы его
case?
пристрелили
He
нахуй.
was just a middleman. He would have been more useful alive. How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me. You're much more important than you can ever imagine. Right, let's go now.
Спустя месяц. 20 января 1793 год. Фокус что-то там с Роскомнадзор представляет. Big Bad Wolf. Типа большой злой волк. Я знаю английский, я такой умный нахуй.
Well done, Mother. You just had to pick up Von Burchard's trail on your own, didn't you? You ditched me in Paris with no explanation, and off you go to infiltrate one of the world-renowned receptions of this Lord Mortimer? And now he writes me to say that you've gone missing on his private island? Which, by the way, looks more like a big rock than a paradise island.
The Kunkel. Эпизод 1. The Mad Ons. Mad безумие, да? А Ons одиночное безумие.
The least he could do is explain to me how he managed to lose you. In any case, it is time for you to stop all this, Mother. It no longer suits your age. Well, I'm sure I'll find you once again, slogging through the caves beneath the island, searching for some long-lost mystical object that you just can't live without. I'm already hating this trip, and all I've done is think
Contrary
about
to
it.
what one may be able to imagine, it was not the host himself who invited me.
Well now, Duchess, we find ourselves both invited by Sir Holm.
Well, how very amusing. Perhaps we have some
Oh,
common
Booba.
interests, Your Eminence. Is this your first time at one of Lord Mortimer's legendary parties?
Oh no, We have been friends since long ago. But as I'm doing some business with Sarhon, the invitation came from him.
Well, I simply can't wait for all the festivities to begin.
And you, good sir, what brings you here?
Your Eminence, with all due respect, I prefer to keep my reasons for coming here to myself. I promise, it has nothing to do with the legendary party that you all appear to be preparing for.
Believe what you will, my son. However, everything is related to the legendary parties organized by our host.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that, Cardinal.
Anyway, consider yourself fortunate, young man, because there are many who dream of simply one day setting foot on this island, and only a very few ever make it. Indeed, I imagine this must be your first time here.
That's right. Until now, I've never been invited by Lord Mortimer.
You'll see. You won't soon forget it.
Given what I've seen so far, I wish I'd been passed over.
Come, Duchess. They're waiting for us.
We're moving, Monsieur de Richet, if you would like to join us.
I'm coming, Duchess. A cardinal? A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious. If I'd known, I would have gone for a better suit.
Are you all right?
Mother? Oh shit, your hand!
So,
Okay, it's done.
did you put it in a safe place?
Yes. I made sure no one was following me. Don't worry, Sarah, no one's going to find it.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Right. Just one thing left to do.
No, Mother, no, don't!
What? Have you lost your mind?
There's no other way.
If you kill me, you won't find it.
That is the point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it again.
No. But I trusted you.
No, Sarah. Don't! No. No! You can run if you want to, Sarah.
Хедшот в голову.
Hugh.
Louis, are you all right? What's going on? Here, take this.
I'm sorry.
Keep it. Are you better?
I'm fine. Don't worry. It's getting late. Why don't you go on ahead and I'll catch up with you, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sure, yes.
Fine.
I definitely have to find Mother quickly. Am I going crazy or what? This can't be real. The Duchess arrived with me. What's happening to me, for God's sake?
Но у игры проблема с FPS, кстати. Я не знаю почему. Че, ничего не могу осмотреть? Ни один предмет?
Louis, during the trip, I had something I wanted to ask you, but we didn't happen to run into each other.
Yes, Duchess?
I'm not sure if you remember, but we've met before. At that time, you were of two minds as to your choice of career. Tell me, what have you been up to since?
Класс. Дипломат. Дипломат — душа любой компании, очень красноречив, тактичен, бдителен в разговорах с собеседником, отлично разбирается в политике. Оккультист, мастера обмана, посвятил свою жизнь науке и искусству, готов идти по головам, не испытывая угрызений совести. Детектив. Эксперт расследования замечает малейшие детали в окружении обстановки, приведения собственников на пути, действия решительно и прямолинейно. Ну, вообще, дипломат прикольно в том, что я могу с кем-то попиздеть и узнать информацию, если я буду красноречив. А детектив, если я буду, ну, именно детектив. Ага. Чтобы получить на... ну, кстати, я могу, по-моему, все, да, прокачать? Детектив дает доступ к следующим навыкам. Допрос, бдительность, логика, психология и ловкость. Вам доступно 7 очков действия для применения навыков. Убеждение. Вы получаете 1 очко благодаря прошлым поступкам. Манипулирование получает 1 очко благодаря прошлым поступкам. Замечайте важные детали, подозрительно расположенные предметы. Прибегайте к логическому мышлению и красноречию. Понимаете, действия, требующие физической подготовки. Чтобы читать всех соперников как открытую книгу.
Well, over the last few years, I've solved a number of crime cases. Like the chauffeur d'orgère, for example. Thieves that tortured their victims with burning embers.
Charming. How did you catch them?
I told the most cowardly one that the others had given him up.
Ah, and I wager your thief suddenly started to talk.
You wouldn't believe it. He told us everything. The jobs, the stashes, the names of his partners. Couldn't shut him up.
I heard about that case, but I didn't know you were the one who solved it.
I'm flattered that the news made it across the channel. And you've got a darn good memory, Duchess.
Well, they say I have the memory of 2 people. But please call me Emily.
Fine, Emily. Tell me, I was actually helped on that case by my mother. You wouldn't know her by any chance?
Wait, Louis. We've already met. You do remember me, don't you?
How could I forget a woman such as yourself?
A woman such as me? What a sweet talker you are. Remind me of how we met?
Навыки позволяют давать особые ответы на разные поступки. Чтобы применить навык, необходимы очки действия. Чем выше уровень вашего навыка, тем ниже стоимость его применения. У меня есть манипулирование.
Don't you remember? We bumped into each other at Mesmer's show in Paris. That fraudster had even bamboozled the Marquis of Lafayette.
You too, apparently, because I've never been to see him.
Ouch. Well, that didn't work.
Right, time to go to the manor.
Применяйте навыки, чтобы обнаружить скрытые детали. Выбирайте наиболее подходящие ситуации элемент окружения. Используйте возможность не требует очков действия. Для применения необходимый навык достаточно, чтобы...
I ask her a question, she answers with another. Is she playing with me?
Личность. Каждый с человеком, с которым вы знакомитесь, на острове обладает своим характером. К одним навыкам он может проверить источник, к другим слабость. Пользуйтесь усилиями слабыми сторонами, столкнувшись с источником, потерпите неудачу, почувствуйте измождения. Воспользуйтесь слабостью, верните одну потраченную очку действия. Чтобы знать, к чему ваши способники появляются источник слабость, откройте меню журнал. Вам нужна слабость, вам нужна устойчивость.
Emily, please excuse my insisting.
Устойчивость, логика. Но неизвестно, что у нее. Карта, навыки.
You still haven't answered about my mother. Do you know her?
You'll see, Louis. Everybody here knows Sarah de Richet.
I don't know where we're going like this, Emily, but you're connected to my mother one way or another. And if I can believe my vision, you don't have much of a place in her heart.
Звание. При выполнении определенных действий вы будете получать новые звания. Узнать, как заблокируются звания, которым преимущество они дают, можно в вкладке. Чтобы ознакомиться с своими званиями. Выбирать пилу неподходящих элементов при появлении возможности. Развить навык бдительность до уровня 3, а навыки до просто психологии до уровня 2. Да ебать, я могу что-то исследовать?
Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away.
Так, давайте я выйду из игры. Ебать, а еще можно, ебать, помедленнее там, чтобы... Вот эта кнопка... Ебать, а где GeForce Experience, блядь? Он, блядь, закрыт, нахуй. Ебанутый, что ли? Ты ебанушка! Diablo 4, что там у нас по графению? Надо оптимизировать? Вдруг надо, блядь. RTX DLA поставите. Ну, поставим потом. Так, тут есть Лиза Кункл, кстати. Конворд, Дота, блядь, Хант. Уянт. Кстати, тут можно Valorant оптимизировать. Нет, тут нет игры за Кункл. Кункле. Следующий Resident Evil что-то делает, кстати. Хотя я уже удалил, блядь. Да, за Кункл нет, а если... руководство, типа, чтобы брать вот эти вот разрешение низкого FPS. Вертикально, ну давай попробуем. Ну у меня Nvidia все закрыто почему-то, блядь. Панель управления Nvidia. Ну-ка, найдем так ее. Панель. Вот он. Так, как пофиксить? Сейчас попробую. Вертикальный. Выкл. Применим, потом я все сброшу до... Ну, до заводских настроек. О, этот. По умолчанию потом сейчас сброшу. Реально помогло, теперь не лагает. Мед поставить 2 ячейки действия, можно хранить не более 5 горшочков. Я туда не шел.
May I ask your name, please?
Louis Moras de Richer.
Monsieur de Richer. Delighted to welcome you among us, sir. You must be Sarah de Richer's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
I have an appointment with Lord Mortimer. Would you be so kind as to lead me to him?
Unfortunately, sir, I cannot. I don't know exactly where my master is. But rest assured, sir, everyone is waiting for you at the manor. Sir Holm insists on welcoming you in person. Since your mother went missing, everyone has been concerned about finding her.
Who is Sir Holm?
A close friend of Lord Mortimer's. Please, rest assured, sir, it won't take us long to find your revered mother. Indeed, we are searching the quays again because lights were seen at the wharf just last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
And did you find anything then?
We discovered a certain amount of damage, sir, on the wooden part of the wharf.
What type of damage?
Broken barrels, mainly. We'll do whatever is necessary to have them rapidly repaired. But quite frankly, I can't imagine what Sir's mother would have been doing with them.
What could Mother have been doing with barrels?
Nevertheless, our search of the wharf hasn't been entirely unsuccessful, though.
What do you mean?
We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials SDR. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's mother, Sarah de Richer. I have orders to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
I know my mother. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing here. Where exactly did you find the handkerchief?
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
Сложно, логика 1.
Give me the handkerchief. I'll personally show it to Lord Mortimer.
Well,
I've traveled hard for several days in order to get here.
Yes, but...
Invited by your master.
Так, слуги. Слабость логика, слабость допрос. Неизвестно.
No, of course, but...
Because my mother went missing right under your nose.
Sir, please.
And having only just arrived, you refused to give me her personal belongings?
Of course not, sir. It was never my intention to contradict, sir. Here you are. I must return now. It is still much to prepare in order to welcome all the guests.
It is indeed your handkerchief, Mother. You must have come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think. What could she have...
Так, я не знаю, конечно, как пока уровни качать. Звание. Опытный детектив. Допрос, бдительность, психология. Навык не получен. А, видимо, чтобы получить навык, надо на 3 прокачать. Четыре очка до уровня 2.
Doing out here on this wharf?
Харизматично манипулирование плюс 1 очко. Самостоятельное убеждение. А-а-а. Угу.
A wooden floorboard. Judging by the splinters of the wood, this floorboard has been ripped up. Yet it was in decent condition. I wonder why someone ripped it up. What's the point of doing this? Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed. Get it open barehanded.
Сложность, хитрость. Ага, взломать замок.
Hey, there's something not right about this floorboard. It's different from the rest.
Открывать доску. Сложность 3, ловкость уровень 1.
There we go. Let's see what's hidden inside. There's a book and also a bag. The Mysterium Cosmographicum. I know that book well. Mother used to read passages from it to me all the time. And judging from what I can see, it's the same one as hers. For crying out loud, what's happened to you, Mother?
По мере прохождения вы будете читать знания литературных трудов. Перед началом каждого задания вы можете выбрать манускрипт, получить очки навыков.
Let's look inside the bag. A little food, a few toiletries, a small key, and some kind of black powder. Some fruit, a piece of bacon, and some bread. The fruit's still firm. The bread's a bit stale. From the smell, this food's been here roughly 2 days. And if it's rationed, there's enough left to last 2 more days. An iron key completely rusted. You never know. It might be useful. I hope Mother wasn't counting on it. The bottom of the bag is covered in black powder. Shit. Those are definitely my mother's things. I recognize her hairpins. This bag smells of her perfume. A piece of soap. Some oils and her powder puff. But what does all this mean? Right. Just in case, I'll take it all. I'll give it back to Mother when I see her.
Я, может, зря ее взял, кстати.
Crying out loud. Why did you hide supply? It's in the middle of nowhere, Mother. don't know what's going on here, but you obviously feel like you're in danger.
А, недоступно. А, еще какие-то.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Looks like the barrel's been broken for quite some time.
Ну, видимо, погнали.
Latin inscription. Annesis, mi fili quantile produncia mundus ergatur.
Перевести. Не могу.
How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop?
Нихуя зырит, ебать.
Impressive.
Ah, my son. I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Riche, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help.
Сначала просто 3 ошибки доступны. В ходе разговора необходимо преодолеть несколько этапов и завоевать доверие собеседника. Исход противостояния оказывается на непосредственное влияние на развитие сюжета, поэтому не забывайте пользоваться навыками. Во время противостояния на экране будут отображаться символы, которые подскажут, насколько вы были бдительны.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly.
Этап
You
2.
said you work together. What do you do exactly?
Я не имею права об этом говорить, не могу и не могу. Мы состоим в Золотом Ордене.
My mother and I belong to the same secret organization, the Golden Order, which I joined a few years ago. Mother trained me, and I assist in her research. In other words, you can trust me.
My child, you are telling a perfect stranger that you and your mother work for a secret society. It would seem that discretion is not one of your specialities, my son. You will understand that it does not encourage me to put my trust in you.
Shit. All the same.
Главное меню.
Impressive.
Ah, my son. I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
Я могу скипнуть? Почему не могу скипнуть?
You are the son of Sara de Riche, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear
Ладно,
that in mind.
больше я не буду скипать противостояние. Если неправильно отвечу, то ладно.
Personally, would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
Ну, вообще, мы собираем... вот это было бы подошло, но у меня закрыто. Ладно.
If you know my mother, you will understand that I cannot answer you, Your Eminence. I'm sorry, but...
Do not worry, my son. I perfectly understand, and I expected nothing less from you. Discretion and secrecy are both pillars of the organizations for which we work. You are the worthy son of Sarah.
All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Only you know that, Your Eminence. If you're asking me if you can trust me, or if I can keep a secret, I would answer yes, absolutely.
I understand.
In truth, it all depends on the nature of the contents of your letter.
It is a list of names.
This list must be of extreme importance.
Ah, if only you knew. It's a list of people that your mother must help. Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
Последний этап прочтения. На последнем этапе вы должны убедить своего собеседника, выбрав нужную реплику. Если вы дадите неправильный ответ, этот этап будет повторяться до тех пор, пока вы не сделаете верный выбор или не смотрите максимально допустимое количество ошибок. Если вы противостояние окажется неудачным, после этого этап повторится. Послушайте.
I swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Good. Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur de Riche. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains.
Скрытый элемент. Многие улики и предметы в игре спрятаны. Они могут повлиять на развитие сюжета, поэтому внимательно смотрите по сторонам. Допрос у него слабость. Окей. Черты, кстати. Солидный. Манипулирование. Убеждение. Критичную.
Saturn devouring his son. Good God, how awful. Everything in this painting is disturbing. It's the first time I've seen brushstrokes like this. Crucifixion of St. Peter. He was crucified upside down, out of humility. Surprising for an entrance hall. I've just arrived. It might be bad manners to go upstairs without being invited. Blind Oedipus. Blinded himself. What a tragic destiny.
Банка якорцев. Настойка якорцев повышает эмпатию. Некоторое время вы будете видеть, к чему ваш соперник испытывает устойчивую слабость. Можно сохранить не более 5 банок.
Fall of the Damned by Rubens. The man who cannot achieve the salvation of God the Father is offered to fall into the depths of the abyss. Maybe I should introduce myself to the other guests first. Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piaggi. He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Maurras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you forgive my indiscretion?
At the risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Richet's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Holm, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Like you, Mr. President, I'm here as a result of Lord Mortimer's invitation.
2 members of the same family here. That is rare.
You know what they say. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good Lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit. That's the man for my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat, very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer, so don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I've already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this Holm. I saw him in my vision.
Но... давайте лучше с Холмом
My
поговорим.
vision is more important. Let's follow Holm. I'll follow you, sir. Mr. Washington, I hope to speak with you at greater length on another occasion. Emily, please excuse me, but I would like to speak to Sir Holm. I shall see you later.
My friend, I hope our dear Giovanni is well.
The troubles in France have fatigued him, but he will recover slowly. Do not fear. He apologizes for remaining in Rome. The voyage was too much for him.
And right he was too. The mildness of the Mediterranean, eh? Come, sit down and have something to eat, my friend. You look rather pale. Excuse me, sir. I have been neglecting my duty. I haven't introduced myself. Sir Gregory Holm, an old friend of Lord Mortimer's.
A real pleasure, sir.
You who must be well used to the court of France. How do you find this peaceful little haven?
Charming if I hadn't come here for disturbing reasons.
Yes, I heard the news. What a story.
Indeed. I wanted to ask you. Would you have any information about the disappearance of my mother?
Very little, I'm afraid, my young friend. Your mother came at the invitation of Lord Mortimer. Then one fine day, we couldn't find her anywhere.
That's it?
As I said, I don't know very much. Lord Mortimer had the entire area searched immediately. We found no clue as to her disappearance. But I am convinced that as soon as Lord Mortimer becomes available, he will explain the situation.
Thank you for your answers, Sir Holm. But I beg your pardon. I get the impression I know you. Have we met? Except in my dreams, of course.
Not that I remember, young man. Perhaps you are mistaking me for another member of the Chamber of Lords. What with the wig and the powder, it wouldn't be the first time.
No, you were definitely the one I saw threatening my mother.
I thought... Never mind. It'll come back to me.
Would you allow me one last question, sir? I don't want to take up all your time.
Please, go ahead. What do you want to know?
Do you know if anyone else has gone missing recently?
Not at all, sir. It's as if Sarah has purely and simply vanished into thin air.
That's right. Just take me for an idiot, why don't you?
Not even a servant, then?
Not even a servant. I can assure you, we would have been informed.
Keep your faith, my son. Only the celebrated Sara de Rice could vanish before our very eyes, and she will reappear. You will see.
No!
Elizabeth! I should have insisted that you rest in your room.
Do you want me to call someone?
Let me handle this. I'm used to this kind of thing.
Thank you, Mr. Dinshay.
Miss, can you hear me?
Leave me.
Her breathing is becoming stable and... her heart rate too.
Pale complexion, thin, broken nails, an enormous scar on her temple, tattoos on her hands. I don't know what happened to you, Missy, but it looks like you've been through hell.
Can you tell me something about her? Who is this young lady?
Elizabeth Adams. She's come to the island for a course of treatment, to rest.
For a course of treatment?
That's right. Seer can do wonders. Are you all right, Elizabeth? Do you feel any better?
When did she arrive?
4 days ago.
Okay. My mother had already gone missing.
Возможно,
She
требуется
just
нам
regained consciousness and she immediately reaches for her brooch? I don't know exactly what it means to her, but obviously it's got to be something important.
Are you all right, Elizabeth? You gave us quite a fright.
Take it easy, miss.
Let me... I just need to get back to my room.
Of course, my dear. Go ahead.
You saw it, didn't you?
Pardon me?
I segni della bestia.
Sorry, Your Eminence. I don't speak Italian.
Forget it. It doesn't matter.
Gentlemen, it's getting late. It is time for everyone to go to bed. It has been a long day.
Ничего полезного не узнал.
It's all the more delicate.
I'll see what I can do, but the case I'm on at the moment might well leave me with very few opportunities. Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Oh, it's naughty to tell lies. Bet my life that you were talking about something totally different from the decoration of the manor. But to find out what, I should have stayed with them. Too bad.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
Sir Holm, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Just mentioning Elizabeth totally changed Washington's attitude. Looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence.
Washington looks surprised, but Home doesn't seem to see it. I wonder if he's being polite or if he really doesn't see his
Ебать, мне персонаж злой нахуй
On
стоит.
that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Oh man, it's been quite a day. Right, where is my room? Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Так, я могу что-то поисследовать, наверное.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte. Monsieur Jacques Perru. The Quorum Guide.
А что там по обучению? Как я могу получить? Я уже видео не посмотрю обучение. Другая локация.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
Коллекционные монеты.
President George Washington.
Прикинь, блядь, там ебанат бегает, блядь. Вы получили предмет мед.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me. Duke Manuel Godoy.
Так, ну, все, погнали, значит.
Right. So what shall I do with this letter? It might be about my mother's disappearance. But if I open it, I'll be betraying Piaggi's trust. What should I do?
Ну, давай не будем покрывать письма.
Can't wait to open it, but I gave my word to Piaggi, so too bad. I'll wait until I hand it to Mother. Wow, nice room. Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer is giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Склянка кармелийской воды. Кармелийская вода позволяет сосредоточенно не расходовать очки действия на применение следующего навыка. А, нужна труба.
An old sesterce from Roman Gaul.
Эй, не хотел спать. Ну, блядь. Неудача. Берегов Англии. Так, звание. Какое надо звание? Допрос, бдительность, психология. Бдительность 2. Психология еще. Выбор манускрипта. Сейчас вы можете выбрать, какой манускрипт будет читать ваш персонаж после выполнения задания. Прочитать манускрипт, принесет вам. Бдительность и изыскание. Утверждение психология.
Your turn? The servants are not very efficient.
Durocher can't be far away. They'll find her soon. Their search time is restricted, given that they must keep an eye on Adams.
I can take care of her, you know.
Yes. Well, in any case, I do thank you for bringing her to the island.
From what I've understood, the search of Durocher's room hasn't turned up any results.
Not yet, no. But we've put her son in there. Perhaps he'll find something.
That might come in handy.
Louis grows impatient at not yet having met the famous Lord Mortimer.
He will meet him tomorrow.
What a pity to lose a knight at the start of the game. Are you waiting for someone?
A young French soldier.
During our game of chess?
Don't worry, Gregory. The game won't disappear.
О, Наполеон.
I'll have one of my men escort you back.
Don't trouble yourself. I know my way out.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen. Please forgive me for this late hour.
It is never too late, and we have much to discuss. One last move?
Don't worry. Our games always seem to end like this.
Or always start like this. Come, take a seat, my friend.
Ну, это Наполеон, что такой урод, кстати. Да, Наполеон Бонапарт.
A little nighttime stroll, Mr. President?
There's nothing like it for a good night's sleep.
Do not hesitate to ask a servant to show you back.
The corridors seem quite safe.
Peppermint, lime flower, and valerian. My miracle remedy when one can't get to sleep. A very good night to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And to you too, sir.
I'm coming.
Coming.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me, but I am unable to join you at present. However, rest assured...
Inspiration of St. Matthew, or Matthew writing his gospel, dictated to him by voices.
А тут, по-моему, позже ничего интересного нет, кстати. Да подожди, блядь, не стукай нахуй.
There's a circle around the lock here. Must be the trunk Mortimer was talking about. The key should open it.
Давай откроем, похуй.
There's a circle around the lock here. Must be the trunk Mortimer was talking about. The key should open it. There's a note. Effects of Sœur de Richet, to be given to her son, Louis. I should probably take it.
Сколько ваши, сколько интерес за каждые 4 осколка вы будете получать одну очко дополнительного очка действия. Ух ты.
All right, I've retrieved everything.
А иду, ебать, чё стукаешь?
Excuse me, am I bothering you?
No, not in the least. Is something wrong?
I'm going to need your help. Do you remember the young lady we spoke of in the hall?
I bumped into her in the small salon before.
Well, she is the daughter of my friend, the Vice President, John Adams. But she is supposed to be dead.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Fair enough.
Good heavens! I was present at her funeral.
It is disturbing indeed.
Yes. I need to make sure it's her. That's where you come in. I want you to distract Elizabeth while I search her room. And perhaps get my hands on some important information. At least I hope so. Elizabeth is in the small salon. If you hurry, you can still catch her. I just need 10 minutes.
But if my vision is true, there are 2 men nearby discussing very important issues, and one of them looks much like Mortimer. Washington is very kind, but I came to this island for my mother, not for his ghost stories.
Помочь Вашингтону проверить... Ну, давай скорее поможем.
Count on me, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Keep Elizabeth downstairs as long as possible. She must not return to her room.
Trust me.
Сын
According to
лайк.
Washington, Lady Adams is in the small salon. I bet. Hurry.
В гостиной? Я не ебу, где это. Допрос, бдительность, психология. Развить навыки, бдительность до уровня 3, а навыки допроса и психологии до уровня 2. Ну я же развил. Психология. А, уровень 2 развить. Охуеть. Я думал, вот эти полосочки есть уровни, блядь. Научим успокоили Элизабет Адамс. Наука. Манипулирование 1 очко. Чё за звание? Языкознание. А вот языкознание, уровень 3. Шестьдесят 5 манускриптов. Прощает ячейки действия во время здания. Ух ты. Давайте пока на этом закончим. Да, уже это же время истекло. Вот.